Hi everyone, welcome to this morning class, and we have this challenge here. The question is solve the square root of x times y equal to 2 is given as equation 1, and we have the square root of x plus the square root of y equal to 1 as equation 2. The value of x and y that satisfy this challenge here. Again, it's a simple one. Why I always use the term simple math problem is because when you know what to do, whenever you have a problem, automatically it's no longer a problem, and you can use the term simple, right? Good. So how do we navigate this challenge here to get the value of x and y here? So let's take our solution first time here. So we have your solution. Now, if you're new here, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. This is Online Maths TV. All right. Now, in this from these two equations here, I'm going to take the first equation. We have a square root radical here, and we have to eliminate that square root radical, right? And to eliminate the square root radical, the first thing we do here is just to take the square of both sides of the equation from equation 1. Okay? So from here, from equation 1, we're taking from equation 1, we want to square both sides of the equation. So we have here the square root of x, y raised to power 2 is equals to, we must equally square the right-hand side of the equation. So you discover that this will go with this, and now we are left with xy is equal to r4. Okay, so between x and y, we have to make one of the variable the subject of the formula. And in solving for the first variable, which is x, to enable us to do that, we're going to make y the subject of the formula here, right? So making y the subject of the formula implies that y will now be equal to 4 all over x. So we can give this equation star. So we have equation 1, we have equation 2, and now we have equation star. Now we have this as our equation star. We want to go to equation 2 now. How do we handle equation 2? We also have square root radicals here. So we also have to eliminate this square root radical. So we take in our equation 2. So our equation 2, we have, we say square both sides of equation 2. Square equation 2 also. Square equation 2. So this is going to give us the square root of our x plus the square root of our y, all raised to the power of 2 equal to 1 to the power of 2. Now, in this regard, we're going to make use of a simple algebraic expression or identity, which says that if you have your, let's say your a, let's use a this time, a plus your b, all raised to the power of 2. This is equivalent to your a to the power of 2, then plus 2ab plus b to the power of 2. We are familiar with this, okay? So what we do here now, we apply this rule to this. So if we do that, this expression is going to give us here our square root of x all raised to the power of 2, then plus our 2 times the square root of x times the square root of y, then plus the square root of y all raised to the power of 2, everything equal to 1. Because 1 to the power of 1 will give us 1. Right. Good. Now from here, this power will take care of this radical, and this will take care of this radical. So we are now left with x plus our 2. According to the law of sword, we can rewrite this expression here as our square root of xy, right? Good. Plus our y equal to 1. Wow, this is perfect. Now, if you look at the middle term on the quantitative or the left-hand side, you discover that we are having the square root of xy here. And let's go to the two original equations. The first one, we are having the square root of xy. So if we are having xy there, what is the value here? We have 2 here. So we can make a simple substitution from this part here now, putting 2 in place of this, right? So if we put in 2 here, the expression is going to give us here our x plus our 2 times, let's put it in bracket, times 2, then plus ry is equal to 1. So we end up having our x plus y. This is going to give us 4. Move it to this other side. This is going to give us our 1 minus r4, which is equal to minus 3. So we now end up having x plus our y is equal to minus 3. This is another equation, all right? So we can turn this equation star star. So let's give this equation star star. So if we have this to be equation star star, what happened? Now let's check carefully here. We have our equation star and we have our equation star star. We succeeded in making y the subject of the formula in our equation star. So we want to put the value of y into anywhere we see y in equation star star. So substituting, okay, we can now say here put, let's say put y equal to 4 all over 3, sorry, all over x rather, all over x into equation star star. So doing that, this is going to give us our x plus, here we have 4 all over x, then equal to our minus 3. We have to eliminate the x at the denominator, right? So, and to do that, we have to multiply both sides of the equation or all the terms separately by x. And if we do that, we're going to end up having x raised to power 2 because this will find this. And if we use s to multiply the terms here, is going to give us our 4, the equal to minus 3x. Easy. Move this quantity to this side of the equation. So we're going to have x to the power of 2, then plus our 3x, then plus our 4 equal to 0. So what kind of equation is this? Because we're having the highest power of the variable in this equation to be 2, then that is a quadratic equation. So, and we have to solve this quadratic equation either using the factorization method or the completing the square method or the graphical method. But if you check carefully, to use the factorization method here, it's going to give us some challenge here. And so we want to succumb to the formula method. So using the formula method to solve for the value of x here, then we take our formula. So we know that our formula says that your x is equal to minus b plus minus the square root of our b raised to power 2, then minus 4 ac all over our 2 times our a, right? Good. So the value of a here is 1, which is the coefficient of x to the power of 1. And the value of b here is 3 plus 3, the coefficient of x, and the value of c, which is the constant term, is 4. Okay, so if we substitute that into this formula, this is going to give us here our minus 3 plus minus the square root of 3 raised to the power of 2 minus 4 times our 1 times our 4 again all over our 2 times 1. So if we carry out this simplification here, we're going to have minus 3 plus minus the square root of our 9 minus 16 all over 2. Very simple. If we subtract this from this is going to give us minus 7. So we're going to have our x is equal to minus 3 plus minus the square root of minus 7 all over 2. Remember, we can rewrite this, the square root of minus 7. Minus 7, square root of minus 7 can be written as minus 1 times the square root of 7. Right? Good. Then from our imaginary world, we are told that the square root of minus 1 is equal to iota. So we can bring iota into the system, right? Good. So bringing iota into the system, we can rewrite this expression here to give us our x is equal to minus 3 plus minus iota root 7 all over 2. We now have 2 solutions from this challenge here. And what are the 2 roots? The first one, we're going to have our x1 is equal to, let's factor out this half out. So we're going to have 1 all over 2 bracket minus 3 plus iota root 7. And the second one, x2, is 1 all over 2, then bracket our minus 3 minus iota root 7. So these are the 2 values of x and y that satisfy this original equation. All right. Now I'm going to give you a tip to solving for the other root, which is the value of x and y. Remember from our equation x here, we have our y is equal to our 4 all over x, right? Good. Since we solve for the value of x here, we can put in the value of x here. Then we carry out rationalization. So if we rationalize the denominator, we're going to have an answer. But whenever you have a problem of this kind, you don't have to waste your time, your energy solving for the second two root, that is the y1 and y2, because we are having x times y here, and we're having x plus our y here, the root of it here. So all you just need to do is that the a conjugate of your x1 will give you the value for your y1, and the conjugate of your x2 will give you the value for your y2. Okay, so without wasting time, we can bring our y1. So our y1 will automatically is going to give us here 1 all over 2 bracket minus 3 minus iota root 7. And our y2 will be equal to 1 all over 2 bracket minus 3 plus iota root 7. Now, if you care to check, you can plug the value here into this equation, and when you rationalize it, it's going to give you your y1 to be this and your y2 to be this. I've done that already. But if you want me to make a video on how to rationalize your a function having imaginary number or imaginary expressions, then you can say make a video in the comment section, and I'm going to make a video on how to solve for y1 and y2 because of this imaginary expression we have here, and how to rationalize imaginary denominator. All right, so this brings us to the end of today's math class. Thank you for being there all the time. We'll see you in our next class, but till there, keep winning. We love you. Bye for now.